Okay, let's see what we've got on eBay Kleinanzeigen this morning. Land Rover Serie Dach. Okay. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, this looks interesting. Yes, I see. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Right. Where's his number? Let's give him a call. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm calling about the safari roof. Yeah, have you still got it? Ah, excellent. I'll take it. Oh, and one more thing. Where do you live? Oh, Jesus. Okay, guys, so as you've just seen, I have found a safari roof and I have spoken with the owner, and a very nice guy. And he lives on the Danish-German border, which is about 700 kilometers away. So there's no way I'm going to drive all the way up there to get this safari top. He also said sending it would cost another 100 euros or so. So as I was talking to him, he mentioned that he was planning a trip down to a place called Rudolstadt in Thuringia, which is literally 15 minutes away from where my mother-in-law lives. So, and my brother-in-law. So my brother-in-law has a garage there, and lots of interesting cars, which actually and vehicles, which I can actually show you a bit later on in this video. And he, this guy who's selling the roof, said he will be happy to drive the extra 15 minutes to Saalfeld from Rudolfstadt and deliver the roof. So at the moment he said he'll be looking at coming on Wednesday or Thursday this week. And yeah, really exciting, because obviously it's not going to cost me anything to get it down here. So we agreed a price of 150 euros for the safari roof as it stands. I've still got to get a little bit more information from him as to what the inside looks like and how many other components with it, because I don't really know the safari roof. I know it has a liner, I know it has an additional top and additional windows, but I don't know all the additional parts that go with it, so the internal panels and so on. So he's going to send me a couple more images over the next couple of days. So the plan now is, if he brings it down this week, I'll have to plan when I go over to Saalfeld, because it's quite a long journey to go and get it. But because, if you look here, this roof is a lot wider than my roof rack is, I've got to modify my roof rack to actually hold the roof when I go and pick it up. So that is what I'm going to do shortly. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to make these roof bars wider is literally just use some wood that I've got here in the workshop, just to make them a little bit wider here. But obviously, because the way you fit these roof bars is by turning this in and out, I need sort of clearance here, so I've got to raise the bar off here. And my plan is obviously to fix these two to this piece, and then I'm going to drill a hole in the roof bar, so I'll put a screw all the way down through here. So then I'll use some ratchets and cords to secure the roof down for the trip. Okay, so that's one of them done. Didn't take too long, so left enough clearance to undo that, and it is, let me just show you, wide enough to carry this roof. So it's a little bit of clearance either end, and yeah, it's going to be quite wide on the car. Obviously it's going to be sticking out quite a bit, but that certainly works. Okay, so that is now both of them done, so I'm going to put those in the car and make a plan of when I'm actually going to drive over there. So didn't take very long, pretty simple, and just means there are a couple of holes in the roof bars, but that is not a problem. So having said he was going to deliver this roof to Saalfeld on Wednesday or Thursday, I waited for Wednesday, and Wednesday went by and nothing. I phoned him in the evening and he said, yeah, I couldn't get away on Wednesday, maybe tomorrow. And then Thursday rolled by and also nothing. When I spoke to him again via text message, he said, yeah, it was just too busy for me. I couldn't get away. So at this point, I was wondering whether I was really going to get this roof or not. But then he said, definitely on Friday. And then while I was at work on Friday morning, I got a text from my brother-in-law with an attachment photograph of the roof, which was then sitting in his garage. So it had arrived, and that meant I could plan the trip to go and pick it up on that weekend. Okay, so it is Saturday morning, a lovely day today. Sun is shining, and my son and I, who is behind the camera at the moment, we are driving towards Saalfeld, which is about 2.5 hours drive, pretty much motorway all the way, and B roads towards the end. Some pretty beautiful countryside on the way as well, so I'll show you some of that as well. But got the roof rack in the back, which you saw from the video before, and we are going to go and pick up the safari roof. So a bit of an update later on.
Let's get lit like it's a holiday. Hey Granny, hey baby, what's good, baby? Every day I wake up and I'm back on my bullshit. I'm from every time I say a word, it's some good shit. I was born in Mac.
Okay, so we've arrived after about 2.5 hours drive at my my brother-in-law's garage here, and just seen the top, and we're going to give it a go putting it on the X5, because it is, of course, in real life very wide. So I'm going to drive the car inside, put the roof racks on, and then put it on and tie it down. See how we get on. It's very windy today. I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll see. If it's too dangerous, we won't do it. Brought the car in. We're going to put the roof rack on, but just looking at the roof for the first time, you can see it back there. Joseph, my brother-in-law, he brought it in last night or yesterday afternoon, and there it is. Really cool to see it there. So now we've got to work out a way of getting it onto the roof nice and safely, because it's actually quite windy today, as I mentioned, and just putting the roof rack on now. But yeah, windows looking pretty good condition. The rubbers are, I mean, they're pretty shot on one side here. There's this hole here in the top which we'll have to repair, but otherwise it looks in pretty good shape. Those rubbers seem to be in better condition on this side, and it's also got, which is very cool, the rubbers here for the top part of the doors, which I didn't think it had. So we'll get it back to Dresden, and we will get it out in the open, in the light, and see what's what. My brother-in-law's got some pretty cool cars in his workshop. Some old fire trucks here from the GDR, the German Democratic Republic, but he's also got a whole load of pretty rare motorcycles here as well. So this is a Schwalbe. I've got a Schwalbe as well. It's very cool. It's got a T3 back there, a flatbed T3, Golf Mark II there, and some very cool motorbikes, like that one there. Okay, so that is now on. The issue with this is it's very thin metal here, so pulling down on that is, I don't know, it's quite brittle really, but we've tightened that down as best we can, and I think that's going to be fine. I've also screwed it on using old bits of Land Rover floor actually, so. Okay, so we've just driven the half a mile from my brother-in-law's garage up to my mother-in-law, and we are now going to have some lunch here because it would be rude not to. But that is the first, you know, drive with the roof on the top, and it seems fine. I mean, obviously it's going to be very different on the motorway, but I've tried to protect it as much as I can, you know, with pieces of wood under here. Oh, that's actually pretty loose. Jesus. Have to have a look at that in a bit. Don't want that flying off on the motorway. But this is really thin metal, as I said before. It's really thin. I was hoping to poke the straps through here, but you can't get through because of these ridges here. They meet the top of the safari roof part. But otherwise, as I mentioned before, the door rubbers are on there, which is really cool. It's a bonus. I mean, oh shit. Okay, well, just cut myself. So yeah, those rubbers are sort of perished, but I mean, they look all right to start with. And yeah, it all looks pretty good, apart from that hole in the roof that we've got. I've also screwed it down, as I mentioned. It's not looking too bad. So, bit of lunch, and then we'll set off and take it back to Dresden. Okay, so we made it finally. There is my garage, there is the car with the roof still on the top, which was pretty good. It was actually pretty windy on the drive back here, so we stopped a couple of times to tighten the ratchets, but otherwise it was absolutely fine. And this is my son, who helped me.
Right.
Okay, so that is everything done now. Put the roof here, and the liner there, which is actually in pretty good condition. I think it's only half of the liner. It's sort of, I think it fits in this section here at the front. So I'm not really familiar with the safari roof, so I don't know how much of a liner it has, but you can see underneath. I don't know if it's a bit too dark, but those are the hatches, and it's lined with polystyrene. So yeah, we'll have to work out how best to redo that. So yeah, but now it's in the garage and I'm really pleased. So that is a lot of work for another day.